We do have some breaking news just into our newsroom in the last 30 minutes. The World Health Organization declared COVID is no longer a global health emergency. The organization says this does not mean that COVID no longer poses a threat to global health. They say this announcement, though, should signal the transition for countries from emergency mode to treating COVID like any other infectious disease.
And 7:01 on this Friday morning, weather-wise, a bit of rain shower activity still present. No more thunderstorms like what we had from yesterday, but instead the beginning of a bit cooler and a bit showery weather pattern for today and through the weekend. Most of the rainfall has been over North Idaho, just sliding closer towards Spokane and into northern Washington as well. And these rain shower chances will be on and off throughout the day. And while our temperatures are still okay this morning in the low 50s, they're just not going to rise very much for today. Those 70s and 80s, not even close, just mid 50s for our high temperatures on this Friday afternoon.
Well, the record-breaking heat that we saw the last 2 weeks is now causing mountain snow to melt and rivers to rise. According to the National Weather Service, the inland Northwest is seeing rising water levels. Areas of concern include the Coeur d'Alene River at Cataldo, the St. Joe River at St. Mary's, and the Kettle River in northern Washington.
Moving water is very powerful. It only takes a foot of water to lift a vehicle off the pavement, 2 feet to lift a truck, and 6 inches of moving water to knock a person off their feet.
Officials say if you see any flooding, you should try and get to higher ground immediately and do not drive through it.
Well, you can hear it right here in town. We have a lot of water rushing through Spokane Falls also. Here's a look at the Spokane River from yesterday afternoon. It's raging at more than 16,000 cubic feet per second. Spokane Parks says for perspective, that's enough to fill Comstock Pool every 2.7 seconds.
Police Department search warrant, come to the door.
This morning, we are seeing newly released body camera video that shows police executing a search warrant at the Moscow murder suspect's apartment after his arrest in December. Brian Coburgers is now suspected of killing 4 University of Idaho students. Now, much of this body camera footage is redacted. However, you are able to hear police call and ask a judge for another search warrant for a storage unit that's connected to the suspect's apartment.
So according to the video, an officer doing the search found a storage unit with the door open. They say they saw what they thought could be evidence inside.
I believe the storage unit or closet was likely used by Coburger to store the items and likely access between the time of the murders and his travel to Pennsylvania, where he was later arrested. It is also believed the storage closet could contain or contains certain trace evidence.
Because of that phone call, the judge issued the search warrant based on probable cause. We saw the findings from that search warrant back in January. We do have a full list of what officers found on our website, KREM.com. Also just released more body cam footage showing Coburger during a traffic stop about a month before the murders. Officers pulled over the suspect for running a red light. In the video, you can see him asking the officer about why he was stopped.
I'm actually just from a very rural area, so we just don't have crosswalks.
Oh.
Unless I visit an area where there are crosswalks, and then it's not very frequent.
Yeah.
I do apologize if I was asking you too many questions about the law. I wasn't trying to
No, not at all. Like, I understand you're not from here, so.
Again, this was just 1 month before the murders. Coburger's next court date is on June 26th.
To another check of weather, where these rain showers this morning a bit on the scattered side, and we saw that change in our forecast yesterday where it wasn't going to be quite as widespread or quite as much of a washout as what was originally forecasted, and that is now holding true for today. So most of the rain is over northern Washington, as you see it extended from Omak all the way back towards Newport, and as we slide back over Spokane, just some very light showers with another band starting to push in from the east and southeast to the west. So again, just note the direction. East to west is the direction those showers are moving for today. But our high temperature is much cooler than the rest of this week. Just 56 for the expected high today, and that'll be a bit closer to what we expect for this upcoming Bloomsday on Sunday. We'll have a high in the low 60s, but of course, decently cool temperatures in the morning, still in the 40s.
Well, in just 2 days, thousands of people will take over the streets of Spokane for the 47th Bloomsday.
That's right. So here on Up with KREM, we have everything that you need to know for the race this year, whether you're a new Bloomie or you're a veteran runner. So for road closures, Riverside Avenue, Monroe Street, and Broadway Avenue, they will all be closed downtown. The streets will close at about 5 a.m. and will reopen around 2 p.m. The streets remaining open are Ash, Maple, Division, and Brown and Hamilton. The roads along the course will also be closed. They'll be closed from around 7:30 in the morning until around 2 p.m.
And if you need a place to park, you can park at the Spokane Arena and other pay-to-park lots around downtown. Spokane Transit, though, will also have a shuttle service on Sunday. If you did not sign up for a shuttle pass during the online registration, you can still buy one for $2 at the trade show. The shuttle will be picking up at locations all across town, including Northtown Mall, Spokane Valley Mall, Ferris High School, Washington and 7th Street out in Cheney, and the West Plains Transit Center.
Now, I'm sure you've seen them before, the Bloomsday runner statues wearing Bloomsday t-shirts on every race day.
So we've actually introduced you to the woman who makes the tradition happen before, but this year she says it's been harder to find those shirts.
Decades of races.
These are some of the older ones up front.
And thousands of shirts.
They are all so familiar. I feel like I know all of these shirts.
Lala Gerber collects old Bloomsday t-shirts all year, so she can be part of the Bloomsday excitement.
I was doing visual displays for St. Vincent de Paul, so dressing mannequins was like a second nature to me, and so the idea just kind of connected.
That was 27 years ago.
I like the whole excitement of the community and everybody getting together and all of the, I don't know, I think it does bring people together.
Her tradition is now part of what helps create the excitement around race day.
There's people that look forward to it and they don't know who does it, but they expect it to be done.
And she delivers every year.
All right, let's see.
But after all these years, it's getting harder to find old shirts.
These are like $15 each. I couldn't do that.
She needs 40 shirts, one for each statue every year.
So I started a page on Facebook where I'm like, if you want to get rid of your shirts, then give them to me. I will use them. They go to a good use and people enjoy seeing them.
Some of the shirts are vintage now, sporting old Nike logos, and are actually worth some money.
It's also hard to get the right sizes because there's not very many statues that wear this size.
For this year, Lala has enough.
Barely have enough.
She'll hang what she has this morning at 11, then she'll start collecting for next year. In Spokane, Nicole Hernandez, KREM 2 News.